Hello friends, it's Jenny from openmindtherapy.co.uk and I'm looking at the second little short video in the series of comparing nature's cycles to the cycles of the human body and mind. And the thing I wanted to look at today was the way Big Ag treats growing food and the way Big Pharma treats the body. And I want to draw some parallels here and explain to you how toxic some of these modern interventions are for both the environment and the human body. This is not rocket science, obviously. With a systemic Roundup treatment, the weed killer Roundup treatment of these, what do they call them, long life, they've got a special name, I can't remember what they are now, but you know, the seeds that don't die, the seeds that never die, they can plant them and you can douse them in Roundup and they survive through, but everything else around it dies. Now, there's evidence to suggest that, a lot of evidence, that Roundup doesn't only kill the weeds, it can cause immense problems to the human body. And the reason is because it might be doused on the plants and it doesn't kill them. That doesn't mean it's not taken up in their roots into the structure of the plant, the desired plant. And the problem with having Roundup in the desired plant, it's a killer, it's a poison, a toxin. It's there to kill off life around it. So many people, when they ingest that stuff, end up with gut microbiome problems, maybe super allergic to many things. It completely disrupts the gut microbiome in the human being. Not everyone feels the effects of it, but if you have got an issue, the chances are by eating some of that stuff, you're going to cause yourself added problems. So that's a kind of a systemic treatment of the environment, just by dousing the whole countryside effectively with Roundup. And I want to draw the parallel with Big Pharma, whereby with cancer, for example, instead of pulling out the problem, you have a systemic approach like chemotherapy, which actually toxifies the whole body. It kills off almost everything, including the cancer, which is really what you want it targeted. Now, there may be some new treatments around, I don't know, where they try and deliver it directly into the cancerous growth, but nevertheless, you're treating the body with chemotherapy, which is also known to be a carcinogen. So what we have is this sort of like big boys approach to nature. We have to kill it. We have to destroy it. We have to show that we rule. Okay. I think it's a very immature, masculine way of being in the world, which is absolutely endemic. It's absolutely everywhere. And I think the feminine principles, the sacred feminine, are slowly coming back into our consciousness. I think there are some women and men, you know, bringing life back into the sacred feminine, which wants to preserve life, the nurturers, the ones that look after life. I mean, the feminine can also be highly destructive, but in a intuitive way, in a kind of like, it just is what it is. Whereas the masculine, left-brained, immature kind of way of looking at it is very technocratic. It's very much about manipulating the environment by having power over it, which is very destructive, but in a much more, what's the word, a much more deliberate and a much more planned way. So I wanted to sort of draw your attention to the fact that we are all subject to these two massive pollutants in the world, the Roundup and the chemotherapy. And if we've not been got by the Roundup, we'll be got by the chemotherapy. So what's the solution? The solution really, I think, is to start becoming autonomic. Sorry, that's not what I mean. The independent, autonomous, that's the word. becoming autonomous with our choice of healthcare, our choice of food, our choice of how we spend our lives. Do we spend it stressed? Do we spend it eating rubbish? Do we spend it looking to doctors to pick up the pieces? When really it's for us to really treasure our physical and our mental bodies and make going to the doctor as redundant as you possibly can. So a little bit of a ramble, but I hope that draws a parallel between Big Pharma and Big Ag and shows you how the philosophy that we use to treat modern society is actually deficient from its very inception. Okay, nice to talk to you.